starting off the weekend. We're starting off the weekend. I am actually going to be, oh no, hold on. Stop everything. Drop everything. Nath. Spicy little nuggets. Whatever it is. I was hoping I received a package. Actually, here in Brooklyn, we get packages delivered to our building. It's left downstairs in our bigger foyer area. And then there is a big metal case that someone had made that we can keep a lot of our things safe. We have some family commotion going on behind us. So if you hear anything, that's just what's going on. If it gets too loud, let me know. But usually it's downstairs. But sometimes we get little elves that come in and they will deliver packages to the door. And we wake up and we open the door and then things are there. It's just like a little bit of a, usually like an Amazon Christmas. But today was an Australian Aussie Christmas for me because I received an excellent package from Nath. Took a quick look inside, had to jump around, saw some beautiful things in there. We saw a gnome, a little goo. My goodness, no expectations whatsoever, but went over the top. Saw some Pokemon cards in there. I'm going to share those with my girls. We got some snacks. We got Tim Tams. We're about to go to the movies. I might have to just jump off early, but I might be trying to sneak some Tim Tams into the movie theater to see some Wicked today. How's that? How's that sound? Think they'll let me get it in? If they don't know what it is, these came from Australia. You can't take them from me. But I feel like I can just kind of hide them. I can tuck. I can put things around. That wouldn't be an issue. So we'll definitely make that happen. But Nath, thank you so much. Nath, you are one of the kindest gentlemen that I definitely know. And it makes me always feel like I'm never following up with my friends enough. So it is always a great reminder just how amazing you are and how, if I can say this is on my mind, just how easy friendship can be. Nath, I've never met you in person. I never gave you a hug. Many of you haven't, actually. But you know what? Sending these hugs, sending these correspondences in so many wonderful ways. Thank you so much. So, Nath, I love you. My heart goes out to you, buddy. Thank you. All right, guys. Conflict. That's what we're talking about today. As I try and structure and restructure and bring some sort of, and this is complete, I got to be honest, this is a little bit selfish because I need structure in my life. Because if I don't have structure, then those moments where I'm less motivated, I'm just not going to be able to follow through. So try and bring some structure here right now with our readings. But today is all about conflict. And this is what I'm starting with. Instead of gratitude, it's a question for the couch. A question for the couch. I posted this in one of our chats. And also, if there are any dads that do, dads, moms, parents, anyone, even non-parents, that want to get involved with our group chat over on X, please let us know. We run challenges and all that kind of stuff. But I posted this question already. Question for the couch. I want you guys to, if you don't want to answer completely, give me a thumbs up that this is definitely something that you've come up with. Give it. I just heard someone pop on. Who popped on? Who's this? Oh, it's Jason. What's up, Jay? Don't say anything yet. I'm on a roll. Question for the couch. What's one conflict or a moment of tension in your family that you've been able to work through? Anything? We got one of those? We know we do. But I think more importantly, what did you learn from it? I think being parents, I think it's a big thing for us just to make sure that we're understanding how does it maybe affect our kids? How do they see us actually, dealing with conflict and all that kind of stuff too. But more specifically for the couch, I want to know this. Give it to me in 3 words. If there's one item that maybe you guys had conflict over, if there's one moment, just put down 1 word. I just want to know. I'm always kind of curious what those are. But a moment of conflict or tension in your family that you've been able to work through, let me know. Because I think we do have a lot to learn from it. Jason, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, are you able to see when, how when you get into the live stream where first you can kind of see what you look like before you hit press center?
Yeah.
Can you see that part where I'm trying to fix my hat and make sure my hair is perfect, or no?
Can I fix the part where it's like where you're changing your name? Because a lot of times you can set up so there's backstage, so I can see those, but really you're backstage. I have to add you to this stage. So
okay.
No, I didn't see that part.
I'm just wondering what you can see and what you can't see.
Do you have pants on?
I got pants on. Yeah.
Got it. Where'd you get this mug from?
It's a Christmas mug. It's just one of the many mugs that we have.
Oh, it looks like the design from like Granny's house.
No, but I can see where you're going with that.
Got it. That's good.
Yeah.
Conflict. Where are we at conflict right now?
Oh man, that's a great one.
Oh,
I
wait, hold
went to
on.
bed
I have to say this out loud. We are trying to get to the movie theater.
right
We have to
now in the
leave.
morning.
We are. We're going for a 10 o'clock show. We're seeing Wicked. We're going early, specifically so that the girls don't fall asleep and that their moods are somewhat more stable.
Are you going to the movie or a play?
No, we're going to the movie because the new movie just came out. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. So what? You have short time tonight, this morning?
I'm gonna try and make it that.
Let's do it. Okay, 7 o'clock on the dot. We'll do it.
I'll do it. But I told Lauren it was gonna be before that, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
Conflict.
Yeah.
First thoughts. Of course, it's Bruce Springsteen, right?
Timely, topical.
Good.
Bruce Springsteen, because we're from that great state as well. Yeah, this has been a good year. Well, let's start with you. What's the last conflict that you were able to resolve in a positive way?
God, I have conflict every single day. So if no one does know this, and I've talked about it often, is that I would just say like my mood regulation is not always on point. And that's okay. Doesn't make us, I think many of us are like that. But one thing in particular is that I am a pretty sensitive person, I would say. And so things do hit me pretty hard. I don't have a specific thing to bring up right now at this moment, but more importantly, because I feel as if I have that internal conflict that's battling every single day. And one thing in particular, if she was here, we'd be open about it. But I know that one thing that me and Lauren talk about is the tone in which we use with each other at all times. So it's not so much the words, but just the tone. That's, you know, how things are said. Hey, can you move my laundry over? And the way that we both hear that is going to be completely different. So there's always conflict every single moment, every single day. So we are constantly trying to deal with that conflict. And I think the big conflict that we're trying to understand is where is that tone coming from? And so I end up having my own idea of where her tone comes from. And then my tone, I always say, is piggybacking off of her tone. And you can see how that conflict arises very often. But I think that happens with a lot of married couples. But I think more importantly, I think it's this side of like how you're dealing with that. And so I think just talking out loud and talking through what we're thinking, like I think the one statement of, I feel attacked right now. I think it's always a really good one. So you just kind of like state that out loud. So I think in a very usual way, in a lot of relationships when you're living with someone, those kind of things will come up. But I think that, there's times where we're not handling it so well. And so I think the biggest thing is just making sure that we are able to show the girls how we kind of approach that moment.
That is extremely similar to my point. So today I'm on cloud nine because it's like the first day of Thanksgiving break, so I'm feeling great.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I got home.
Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling great. I want to bring the moment to that. That's awesome. Were you not feeling great before?
But that's the first part of the story. Last night I got home a little bit before dinner, and I was also feeling great. Like I was on top of my shit. Like I finished the week strong before the break, got all my grades in, wished all the kids happy Thanksgiving, and then sent them off. Came home and I was like on like top dad mode. Like I came home, made steak and potatoes, and I was feeling awesome. I did the dishes. I was feeling awesome. And for some reason, just this really low level, just annoyance. And I have no idea what it was. And I was like, is this something that I have to acknowledge out loud? And I kind of carried that like throughout the night. And
Okay.
I think it comes out like it probably looks like just being annoyed with everything.
Yeah.
Like outward, like maybe to Kristen or something.
Yeah.
So if Kristen's listening, I apologize, but I'll also apologize when I go back upstairs as well. But I have no idea what it was. It was just like this really weird. It was like it was like a mixture of like annoyance and frustration for no reason. But I was doing everything that I would want to do as like a human and a dad and a husband. I have no idea what it was.
Are you?
That's something.
Is this mainly internal conflict then? Because it sounds like no one in particular maybe
Oh no,
brought up this
it was
conflict.
totally internal. But
Okay, got it.
I don't know what it was. It was just odd. I had a margarita. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
That's okay. Your feeling's valid.
Oh, I know, but I'm like, but it was like before I'm going to voice it, I was like, what is it? What is this feeling that I have? I don't know.
Did you do any searching?
No, I went to bed and I had another margarita, and then I totally blanked out on our wine Friday date.
Oh, no worries. We
And I went to bed at a responsible time. I did everything right.
That's all good. We were at Chuck E. Cheese for a school event all last night. Chuck E. Cheese is just like wild. It's like just kids running around everywhere. So like the most massive fights of like, which is I guess salient for today, but it's like kids just fighting over like
bugs.
It was like you basically go into Chuck E. Cheese now. They give you your little card because that's you're not using quarters or anything anymore. But like the families that decided to get one card to share between their kids at Chuck E. Cheese, like I question their sanity. I question their parenting. Like I saw the most massive, like, did you not think your kids were going to fight over one card? Like the front desk could have split the cards into the same amount of tokens for your, I don't know. Just, I didn't understand it.
Yeah, that's a real, that's like a Lord of the Flies moment.
It blew my mind. Now it wasn't majority of parents by any means, but I was just like, why would you do that? So I was in my mind, I always try and go back to, okay, well, what are they dealing with? I was like, maybe they didn't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not their kid. Maybe the kids I'm seeing aren't actually siblings or just random kids fighting. I didn't know. Anyway, that's what that is. Considering that we're not on track for me to get up early, that's okay. I will get yelled at some point though. I want to, obviously conflict. It's an easy thing right now. As I try and usually I read the book in the morning. I go to the gym. I do a little lifting. I get on the treadmill and I walk. And that's where I get my thoughts and my notes together with all those kind of things. And today was no different. So that's what we were looking at here. But it was where I was asking questions. I love to ask questions. Questions like, have you ever had a silly, dumb kind of argument, right? That maybe spiraled into something bigger than it should have? The answer from everyone's going to be yes, right? Depending on how big or small it was, like forgetting to do the dishes or who was supposed to pick up the kids. That happened to me a few months ago. I forgot that it was me. I'll take responsibility, but I still don't think it was me this day. It doesn't become about the dishes or picking up the kids anymore, right? It becomes about something else. There's something else that's there. Just like you talking about yesterday, Jason, there's likely was something else there than just like being bothered. There's something subconscious. And so I think those things happen, right? And so we are all going to accept that. But this is the bigger point, I think, is that what we do in those moments, right? And how those small things become big things. And then all of a sudden we're saying things. This is me. I know I feel I definitely do this. I'm very fast to apologize now, but it doesn't take things back, right? And so there's things that I'll say that I can't take back. And that kind of hurts a little bit to think about, right? But it happens to all of us. And I think that it's definitely something that we can all relate to, right? So when we're reading today, right, I think it's important just to keep in mind, right, if you've read or you haven't read, I just want to make sure that it is today can be a reminder, maybe with Thanksgiving coming up, at least in the United States right now, but just making sure that, family, friendships, like everything, all of this, it's just so precious. And that I want to make sure that what we can really do for anyone is just, again, give a reminder, showing up this morning and making sure that we don't let nothing, right? Which I don't know if I love that so much, but these things that look like nothing, right, in retrospect, but it's nothing, then it turns into something that destroys, I think, what is most important, friendships or family or anything like that.
I like the point of keeping the table in mind. like it referenced you want a full table when you get older, right?
Yeah.
And to not let like those little things get in the way of the ultimate goal of having, a happy unit. Who's behind me? Hazel's behind me.
Hazel.
Hazel's
What's happening,
here.
Hazel?
So I think that's a good thing to keep in mind is like what's the look, we both have a child.
You want to say hi to Hazel?
Say hi.
My child has a child.
Hi, Dee Dee. Say hi, Dee.
Upside down.
Upside down, baby.
So I think that's a good reminder to keep the big picture in mind when navigating those things.
Mm-hmm. I don't want you to hit the microphone. That's all.
And like how they can get in the way of like what your ultimate goal is, whether it's like a full table or like a good day or a good break or something. And maybe like acknowledge those first. Like one thing that I've talked with Kristen before. Dee Dee, Uncle Jay is talking right now.
Is she really loud with this microphone?
Yeah. I can't hear her.
You can't hear?
No.
Here.
Well,
nothing's going on. We're gonna hear Jason.
I've been working on like those times when I'm like I can't really like identify a feeling, or I can't identify. Dee Dee, do you know what I'm talking about when I'm trying to, deal with issues that I'm dealing with internally? Dee Dee,
let's finish up so we can go to Wicked. Okay.
Okay.
What I was saying was one thing that I'm working on is
I can't hear.
When I have those feelings that I can't quite identify or put opinion, that I vocalize that actually helps a lot better than me trying to like straighten it out first before vocalizing it. Because my concern is like, am I going to make this a bigger problem by voicing an unrealized issue?
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I also like the crowded table discussion there, right? Just that, because we talked about it before about setting the table. Right? So I think if we set the table, can you go get your shoes on, get ready to go, and then we'll head out. Okay. Ooh, your arm is going to be stuck. Look, your arm. You got to get your arm away. Okay, go ahead. Bye, baby. I liked it, just setting the table. So good point in bringing it up. With, if we're going to set the table, as we talked about before, making sure that we are inviting people in and kind of growing a life and being grateful for our friends and family, you can easily, I think, ruin it, which I think is with this conflict, relating these little things, I think really just build up. So I like it, right? And I think that's also, if we want to show up to the table, whoever we're going to show up with, I'm trying to tie something in right now. I don't know if you guys can hear the music that's going on right now, but
it's okay. I have an iPad playing in the background too.
I think as long as we can all show up to the table and remain curious, I think that's a big thing. I know in my life, as I get a little bit older right now, I'm definitely connecting with more people who I think maybe ask more questions or remain curious. But I think the biggest thing here is that curiosity is definitely going to build the connection that we need with people. And I think that what that can definitely overshadow and push away is going to be ego. Because I think that a lot of us are beyond the egos. We can't be egotistical right now, because if we are, we're definitely not putting our kids first or our family first. And so, leave, I know like at Tone House, the gym that I work at, it always says, leave your ego at the door, because it's a really tough workout, right? And so don't think you're going to come in here and like own this place. But I think the family table, right? The Thanksgiving table, I think any kind of like table that you're showing up to with friends, like, leave your ego at the door. It doesn't belong on the table. Only curiosity does. And if I'm not speaking that and it's connecting with someone, then I'm connecting it for myself. So I can remind myself, especially as we get into the next holiday.
Yeah. Remain curious. I think that's a good way to resolve whatever ego issues, I guess.
Yeah. Not to rush this.
Do you have an example? I know what you're talking about. Do you have like an example of what that might look like?
No, but I am going to have to go. So I did just want to hit on one thing, and I'm not trying to step into a therapist role here, but I thought that some sort of actionable advice was going to be, I think really important, and talking about these things. And then I think I'd love to share maybe some things that I've thought about, and then also let it sit with you guys, share it, and then we can talk about it, another time as I run out the door before my wife hates me more. But things here, just 3 things that I was thinking about, right? What do I do if I can in those moments? 1, I think taking that pause before reacting in some sort of way. Hard thing to do, but that was definitely one thing. Pause. What are you about to say? I think 2 that I was thinking on for myself was just making sure that I'm focusing on the issue or the conflict, but not the person. Because I think that's when things become personal. But I think it's also where something like tone from the person is now overshadowing what we're trying to accomplish. And we're on the same team. So that's the thing that I want to make sure that I'm always trying to think about. Now, number 3, I think where I try to think about, and I think some of these things I've been doing more subconsciously, but the practice, I think, of saying you're right, sometimes whether you think that they're right or wrong. And I think also saying I'm sorry is a good practice to have. Now, that doesn't mean apologizing when it's not deserved, maybe, but it's more of the fact that, the first thing that can come out of your mouth, you have a choice, right? It can be the next thing to rebut what someone says, or you can connect with someone, right? So I think that it's let the ego come out or let the connection come out. And for me, my connection is, okay, you're right. Because in some way they're right, whether it's the way that they're seeing it, the way they're feeling it, how they believed they saw it. I don't know. So those are my 3 things, my bits of
I'm gonna add one thing since you have to go.
Yeah,
I think something that helps along with that.
Yeah.
When you're in that heat of the moment is say you agree. Like usually when you're arguing, there might be some points of agreement. Agree, like show that you agree with it, but instead of saying but, and this helps me in vocalizing whatever thoughts I have, is instead of saying but, say and. It's very simple. It's like I've heard it in teaching in our PD meetings on how to add to conversations. It's a conversation piece more. It's instead of
I hear you.
Contradicting, you're adding productive conversation.
Okay. I like that ad. I think it's a necessary thing to. I feel it's necessary because I think sometimes I'm looking for what's that next thing that I can definitely do. So it's definitely one that I would definitely throw into the solution bucket that I can reach into in some of those more difficult moments. All right, I'm gonna have to run because I have to put on pants. I can't stand up right now. I'm just kidding. I just have sweatpants on, so I need to
screw pants. Hey, enjoy your movie, and let's do our evening session at some point.
Yeah, let's definitely think about it. I wanted to just make sure that I'm always trying to hit on, and I do share this even before the streams, my thoughts on some sort of call to action, right? Because that's what I learn whenever I'm talking with a business coach about how you post things and talk about things. But whenever we're kind of ending some of these, I do want some people to take away our question to the couch, first of all. And I don't know if I even got to the couch, so I'm so sorry if I haven't. But I do want something for people to think about. And so I would hope, and I'm going to do this, I want people to try to reflect, take a minute, do it. I think before in the United States here, before Thanksgiving, it could be a good thing to kind of think about this, but reflect on any of those unresolved tensions, whether it was big or small, whatever's really going on. But I hope that maybe there's a way that you can reflect on that and then think about a small step to move forward. And I'll tell you, probably connection is the one thing to do. So think about the conflict, think about the people, try and connect in some sort of way. Take what Jason said, right? Start that conversation. Instead of ever saying, but, I know we fought, but not sure if that's the best way to go about it. But I think saying you're sorry, accepting an apology, letting something go in your own way, whatever you can definitely do. Share how it feels, though. I'd love for you guys to share with us, because if I heard that someone resolved some sort of conflict with someone in their family and they were able to feel really good and it changed their day, their week, their year around, that is just motivation for someone else to do it, right? I think watching human potential in any way is so incredibly life altering. So if you can help me see you guys dealing with conflict, show us what's really going on. But again, we'd love to hear those stories. Please share. With that said, I'm going to go, and I can forever now tell you that I ended the stream 4 minutes early so that my wife doesn't think that I didn't try. Okay.
Okay. Good luck. Enjoy the movie.